Gotta butter, 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 butter. Hi there, humans of the world. Alice the Claire here with another episode of Eating for Free. So today we are going to be making some bread. Now, usually bread is something that I always thought would be really expensive to make. I've made it a lot before. It's still a good payoff, even with the normal ingredients. But with this particular bread recipe, remember pasta? You know how easy and cheap pasta was to make? Well, what if I told you bread is even easier? It takes a few more ingredients, but not many really. You don't even need the yeast. Yeast is what normally makes bread so expensive. And so if you don't have yeast, your bread's a lot cheaper. Instead, we are just going to be using baking powder as our leavening agent. Baking powder would be in bread anyway. Just eliminating ingredients. It's great, right? All we need to make this bread is baking powder, which is our leavening agent, flour, oil, water, specifically some warm water, and this is optional. You don't have to add sugar, but I am adding sugar because it'll make the bread a little bit sweeter. Trust me, you're probably used to bread with a little bit of sugar. Not a lot though, just a tad. And that's all we need to make this bread. Let's get started. First thing, I'm gonna take this bowl for mixing. It's red, I like red. Cool. So let's throw in some baking powder. I'm putting in probably about a tablespoon-ish, maybe. I don't really measure, so use your own estimates. I got flour all over me. Flour, flour, flour. 1, 2, 3. In case you couldn't tell, I was putting in approximately guesstimating 3 cups of flour. This is where we are right now. Cool. Let's do just a dash of sugar. I put in probably about a tablespoon-ish. Okay, now I'm gonna put in approximately 1/3 of a cup of this oil. Bam! Think of making bread just like making pasta, except you're adding some baking powder and then throwing it on a loaf pan instead of boiling it. So now for some water. Let's go with that for starters. I need a fork. Hi, buddy. Come to me, flour. Come to me in my sticky hands. I need a vantage point. Kneeling on an antique chair sounds like a great idea. Oh, to hell with it. Hi, table buddy. I just washed my table. That should be good. Alright. That looks pretty good. You have your little dough ball? I play catch with my dough ball, dough ball, dough ball. It's a sport. And notice that while I was mixing it together, I was also kneading it. That really helps it make sure that you're getting full effect. So rolling it together one last time, and then I put it on the pan. Well, more specifically, I grease the pan, form this into a loaf, and then I bake it. We'll find out if this recipe had any merit at all. This is the first recipe I've made for this channel that I have not pre-tested. So we'll see. Oh, I guess you can't see what I'm doing here. So basically I'm making this into a little log, because this is going to be our bread. Pan! Cooking spray! Yay! That was less effective than I thought. Loaf. Pan. Note, you should put this in a loaf pan if you can. A loaf pan is going to be much more effective for you, but I don't currently have a loaf pan, and so I'm just putting it on, well, what I'm calling a baking sheet. Really, it's a pizza pan. Put this in the oven at 375 and let it bake for a while until it's done. Specifically until it's golden brown at the top, and when you touch it, it springs back. Instead of right there, it didn't spring back. Hey guys, we are back now that the loaf is cooked. You might notice it is not the same loaf, however. I got a little bit excited about bread, so I ended up just making I got a little bit excited about bread, so I ended up making a second loaf. This time I added a bit of crushed up rosemary. Now that it's out of the oven, the first thing you want to do is butter the top. Make it nice and shiny. It'll give it a good taste too. Let's take a little bit of butter. Doesn't get better than this. Alright. Come on, buddy. Butter, buddy. Butter, buddy. Another thing to notice. I should have done this earlier before I buttered it, but I didn't. Another tip. I noticed that the top of these loaves are not really soft enough to push down and check. So another check you can do is you can kind of tap it and see if it sounds a little bit hollow, like this. So you hear that sound? That means your loaf is good and done. That's also a good sound. Now I'm buttering it. Oh, don't you love this dairy-free butter? So now what we need to do is take and remove this beautiful loaf from this pan. So I'm going to get a plate. Take the loaf. If you can't remove it straight up, go ahead and get a spatula. That's probably a better idea. Bam! Good stick. And there we have it. A beautiful loaf of bread. It's best to use a serrated knife of bread, and that's going to get you the best results. But I'm just going to use a plastic knife because, oh, that looks beautiful. Rosemary bread is delicious. Yep. 2 loaves, 1 recipe. Well, I mean, I made 2 recipes. I hope you guys liked watching this video. If you want to see more Eating for Free videos, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. And let me know in the comments below what sort of recipes you want me to do next. Do next? What? Okay. Bye!